What's up, everybody? Day 17 of the World Cup is in the books. The final day of the group stage is upon us. The past few videos we've had to do I believe it's called a sect box. Normally we've been doing quad boxes because there's been 4 games each day. The past 3 days there's been 6, so a sect box. The final day of the sect box. We will be closing out groups L, K, and J today. Quite a few spots at stake, particularly in third place. Iran coming into today, it was in question of whether or not they would advance or not via the third place slot. The Algeria-Austria game played a huge part in that, but let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We will start with Group L. We have Croatia ranked 11th taking on Ghana ranked 73rd. Coming in, Croatia, they lost to England 4-2 and then beat Panama 1-0. For Ghana, they beat Panama also 1-0 and then drew with England 0-0. Fantastic results for Ghana in that game. We will start in the 31st minute. P. Sucic will score to make it 1-0 for Croatia. Ghana, look at Ghana though. They equalize in the 73rd. Lukasen would equalize and make it 1-1. And we're thinking, can Ghana steal points off Croatia? They did it to England, but not so fast, says Vlasic in the 83rd minute to break Ghanaian hearts. Takes the lead and makes it 2-1 for Croatia. And that is how this match would end, sadly, for all of you Ghana fans out there. Oh my God, is my marker drying out? That we've done so much writing on these boards, this marker might be drying out. 2-1. That looks all right. Tough result if you're Ghana, but it doesn't matter. They advanced the round of 32 anyways, so no harm, no foul there. For the stats, possession, 53% for Croatia, 47% for Ghana. XG, 0.42 to 0.64 for Ghana, so they created just a little bit more. Shots, 8-4 on target for Croatia, and then 6-1 on target for Ghana. Your man of the match, courtesy of FOTMob, is Modric with an 8.1 player rating. Up next for Croatia, they advanced to the round of 32, and all of these round of 32 matchups I'm going to tell you today are set in stone, as today was the last day of the group stage, so everything that I will say is confirmed and will happen. So for Croatia, they will take on Portugal on July the 2nd. That is a very tough draw if you're Croatia. However, Portugal haven't really looked like their best. In my opinion, they probably have like one of the best midfields on paper in this tournament, so it's going to be a tough game, but I would fancy Croatia beating Portugal. I've been very unimpressed with Portugal this tournament. Ronaldo, it hasn't clicked. He clicked in that one game. We'll talk about Portugal here in a second. Clicked in that one game against Uzbekistan, but really hasn't gotten going like Messi has. And then for Ghana, they will also advance the round of 32. They have a tough matchup against Colombia on July the 3rd. Can Ghana pull off an upset against Colombia? Potentially. We saw they did it against England. They almost did it here, but I think Colombia is just too good, and that should be a win for Colombia over Ghana. Okay, we head to the other Group L matchup. We have Panama ranked 34th taking on England ranked 4th. Coming in, Panama, they lost 1-0 to Ghana and then lost 1-0 to Croatia. So they've only given up 2 goals in this tournament, which isn't bad, but they've yet to score, which is a problem. And then for England, they beat Croatia 4-2 in what I call one of the best performances I've personally seen England play. I mentioned that tenacity that they had. It was incredible. and then they drew 0-0 with Ghana. Very disappointing. Let's see if they can bounce back in this one. It looked like we were heading towards a potential 0-0 draw again. I think people in England would have lost their minds. But I tell you what, hey Jude, don't be afraid. I'll just score a goal in the 62nd minute. Bellingham would score in the 62nd minute to make it 1-0. Everyone in England goes mad. And then 5 minutes later, guess who? The man, the myth, the legend, Harry Kane, Harry the Machine Kane, I should say, would score and double it and make it 2-0. Side note with this goal, this makes Harry Kane the all-time leading goal scorer for England at the World Cup. Bit of a fun fact for you. Congrats to Harry Kane. It's all coming together for Harry Kane. He's got the record here. He scored like 50-something goals for Bayern Munich this past season. Unreal stuff, scoring machine. And that's how this game would end. Unfortunately for Panama, unable to find the score sheet in all 3 of their matches. It's hard to win football matches when you don't put the ball in the back of the net. But great result for England. Good fight back. It looked like it was going to be a 0-0 draw, but they finally break through. Bellingham and then Kane. The stats in this game for possession, 33-67 for England. XG, 0.66 to 1.56 for England. Shots, 13-2 on target for Panama. 17-6 on target for England. Your man of the match, courtesy of FOTMob, is Jude Bellingham with a 9.1 player rating. Unfortunately for Panama, 3 losses, no goals scored, conceded 4 times. They are eliminated from the tournament. Cue Home by Daughtry, if you remember yesterday's video. Oh, I'm going home to the place where I belong. Do 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 do. I'm going home. And then for England, they will advance to the round of 32. They will take on the Democratic Republic of the Congo on July the 1st. A very favorable matchup. I would be absolutely stunned if England lost that game. I know the Congo have been kind of a sneaky team this tournament. But if you don't take care of business against the Congo, what do we do in England? I mean, that should be round of 16 guaranteed. But we'll see. We'll see. Anything can happen. So that is Group L. Let's head now to Group K. We have Colombia ranked 13th taking on Portugal ranked 5th. Like, this is a huge matchup in this group. This is the matchup we've been waiting for. Coming into this one, Colombia, they beat Uzbekistan 3-1 and then beat the Democratic Republic of the Congo 1-0. For Portugal, they drew 1-1 with the Democratic Republic of the Congo, and then they beat Uzbekistan 5-0. So a really poor performance followed up by a fantastic performance. Let's see what they do today. For Colombia, they've been rolling all tournament. Let's see what they can do today. As you can see, we have no goals. However, there was a moment at the death for Colombia, literally one of the last plays of the game. It looked like Colombia won the match. However, we go to VAR, and it looked like the player was like inches. I'm talking like, it's one of the closest offside decisions I've seen. We're talking like inches offsides. Bit of controversy. You let me know if you think it's offsides or not. Based on the technology on the TV and that FIFA uses, it looked offsides. Super tight, however. You let me know at home if you think it was or not. But it's chalked off offsides. The match would end in a 0-0 draw. Everybody's favorite. I've been surprised in this World Cup. We've had quite a bit of 0-0 draws. More than I remember. The stats in this game: possession 55% to 45 for Colombia. XG 1.70 to 0.93 in favor of Colombia. Shots 24, 6 on target for Colombia, 13, 2 on target for Portugal. So stats-wise, Colombia looks like they had more control of the game than Portugal. However, just couldn't get anything to go. It looked like they did at the end, but VAR said no. Your man of the match, courtesy of FOTMob, is Costa with an 8.2 player rating. Up next for Colombia, they will take on Ghana in the round of 32 on July the 3rd. That is a tough matchup, like I said before. However, I think Colombia get the job done. For Portugal, they advance the round of 32, and they will take on Croatia, like I mentioned, on July the 2nd. That'll be a tough matchup, but like I said, I think that's Croatia all the way. Let's head to our other Group K matchup. The Congo, ranked 46th, taking on Uzbekistan, ranked 50th. Coming into this one, the Congo, they drew 1-1 with Portugal. Fantastic results. And then they lost to Colombia 1-0. For Uzbekistan, they lost 3-1 to Colombia, lost 5-0 to Portugal. Can they get anything to go in this World Cup? We'll see. It started out really, really well for Uzbekistan. In the 10th minute, Sham Murodov would score to make it 1-0 for the Uzbeks. And then we go to the second half. In the 68th minute, Wissa would score off a penalty and equalize to make it 1-1. We head to the 78th, and Mayele would score to make it 2-1 for the Congo. Unfortunately for Uzbekistan, Wissa would score again. Not that it mattered. They were going to win anyways in the 90+ first minute to make it 3-1. So a brace for Wissa leads the Congo to a 3-1 victory. And I believe it is their first ever victory. Yes, it is. At a World Cup. So congrats to the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Great first win. The stats in this game: possession 58% to 42% in favor of the Congo. XG of 2.18 to 0.20 for the Congo. Shots 19, 4 on target for the Congo, 3, 1 on target for Uzbekistan. Stats heavily in favor of the Congo. Well-deserved victory for them. Your man of the match, courtesy of FOTMob, is Wissa with an 8.9 player rating. So with this result, the Congo advanced to the round of 32. They will take on England on July the 1st, like I said before. If England lose that matchup, I don't know, I'll go streaking in my neighborhood. That's how confident I am that England will win. For Uzbekistan, unfortunately, they are eliminated from the World Cup. I'm going home to the place where I belong. They're out of here, unfortunately. So that is Group K. Let's head now, finally, to the nightcap, Group J. I mentioned Iran waiting for this matchup. Algeria ranked 28th, taking on Austria ranked 24th. Coming in, Algeria, they lost 3-0 to Argentina and then beat Jordan 2-1. For Austria, they beat Jordan 3-1 and then lost to Argentina 2-0. So, what was at stake coming into this game? If both teams drew, both teams would advance. If one team won, the other team was knocked out. From my understanding is how this scenario happened. Iran would qualify. If this game ended in a draw, Iran would not qualify. So if you're an Iranian, you were hoping for not a draw. If you're an Algerian, you're hoping for a win. If you're Austrian, you're hoping for a win. That was the scenario coming in. So we go to the 28th minute. Arnautovic would score for Austria to make it 1-0. Great start for them. We head now to the 45th. Algeria would respond. Belgali would score and equalize and make it 1-1. Austria would fight back. Zabitzer in the 55th regains the lead to make it 2-1. 5 minutes later, Mahrez would score for Algeria and equalize and make it 2-2. And then at the death, 90 plus 3 minutes, this is like the craziest ending to a game. Algeria would score and make it 3-2, breaking Austrian hearts. The Iranians are like, yes, let's go. But I tell you what, 3 minutes later, guess who? I'm going to butcher this name. Kalajic heads it in for Austria. The fans going nuts. They equalize to make it 3-3. And that is how the game would end. What a thrilling matchup this was. Unbelievable scenes. I'm sure if you were a diehard Austrian fan, what a moment that is for you at a World Cup. It looked like you were going to be eliminated, and then at the death, Kalajic would score, and now you're off to the round of 32. Unfortunately, though, for Iran, they are eliminated now because these two teams drew. But let's take a look at the stats first. Possession stats, 65% to 35 in favor of Algeria. XG of 1.62 to 1.44 for Algeria. Shots, 12, 5 on target for Algeria. 10, 3 on target for Austria. Your man of the match, courtesy of FOTMob, is Mahrez with the brace. 9.1 player rating. Now with this result, it's a draw, so both teams advance the round of 32. For Algeria, they will take on Switzerland on July the 2nd. Very interesting matchup. Switzerland started off the tournament kind of cold. They drew with Qatar. They looked really good against Canada in their third game. So I'm definitely going to favor Switzerland over Algeria in that one. No disrespect to Algeria, but I think Switzerland just have more quality. And then for Austria, they advance. Unfortunately, though, they have to take on España on July the 2nd. España, or Spain, one of the favorites to win this tournament. I don't see a way that Austria gets by Spain. It could happen. I could see it going to extra time or maybe penalties. But I really think Spain will take care of business over Austria. I just don't see a way past Spain if you're an Austrian, unfortunately. But what a night. Celebrate tonight. Unbelievable game. Crazy stuff. The highlight of the tournament. One of the highlights for the tournament. I think seeing Cape Verde advance was great. Austria advance is amazing. Unbelievable scenes. So props to all the Austrian players and Austrian fans watching. Let's head to our final game of the group stage here. We have Jordan ranked 63rd taking on Argentina ranked number 1 coming in. Jordan lost 3-1 to Austria and then lost 2-1 to Algeria. For Argentina, they beat Algeria 3-0 and then beat Austria 2-0. All 5 of their goals have been scored by Lionel Messi. So the question is, can Argentina win without Messi? Can they score a goal without Messi? Messi started on the bench today. He didn't start. We start at the 19th minute. Lo Celso would score. So yes, someone did score other than Messi for Argentina. Lo Celso would make it 1-0. And then we have a penalty in the 31st. Martinez would score to make it 2-0 or 2-0. And then in the 55th, in the second half, Tamari would score for Jordan, get them on the board to make it 2-1. Messi comes on, and guess what Messi does when he comes onto the pitch? He puts the ball in the back of the net in the 80th minute. Unbelievable stuff to make it 3-1. And that is how this game would end. I seriously just, I cannot believe how clinical, how still fantastic or amazing of a footballer Messi is at his age. Guy's unbelievable. I give him a lot of hate because he plays for Inter Miami, and Inter Miami for me are like a plastic club, and so I'm kind of anti-Messi in that sense. But watching him at the World Cup for Argentina, I don't know how you couldn't root for the guy. I hope he does well. I hope Argentina go all the way. Obviously not past Germany though. Hopefully they can go all the way. If he wins another World Cup, for sure GOAT status. He's already a GOAT, but that's like puts him past anyone that's currently playing, even Cristiano Ronaldo in my opinion. But unbelievable. I believe that is his 6th goal of the group stage. So leading the Golden Boot race easily. Unreal stuff for Messi and Argentina. The stats in this game, possession stats, 27% to 73 in favor of Argentina. XG of 0.76 to 2.13 in favor of Argentina. Shots, 5, 1 on target for Jordan, 12, 4 on target for Argentina. Your man in the match, courtesy of FOTMob. It isn't Messi for once. It's Martinez, 8.2 player rating with the penalty. And then up next for Jordan, unfortunately, they are eliminated with this result. 3 losses. I'm going home to the place where I belong. And then for Argentina, they win the group. Perfect, 3-0. They advance to the round of 32, of course. They have a very easy matchup. Well, easy, I should say. Cape Verde on July the 3rd. Cape Verde, a team, I tell you what, undefeated. Cape Verde is undefeated. 3 draws. If Cape Verde can park the bus for 120 minutes and take it to penalties, anything can happen. And it is so hard to repeat as champions, as we know. So this could be a recipe for an upset in the round of 32. However, Messi has been playing absolutely lights out. He's balling out in this World Cup. So I think Argentina should win this game easily, but don't sleep on Cape Verde, is all I'm going to say. Hopefully Argentina take this game seriously and don't think, oh, we can just walk in because we have Messi and just win. It's going to take work. It's going to take effort because tell you what, Cape Verde, they're going to show up and try and cause a major upset. And that probably would be the biggest upset and one of the biggest upsets in football history, if not the biggest upset if Cape Verde beat Argentina somehow. But we shall see. Right, that is Group J. That is day 17, the last day of the group stage at the World Cup. Quickly recap. Croatia, 2-1 victors over Ghana. England, 2-0 victors over Panama. Colombia, Portugal play to a 0-0 draw. The Congo, first win ever, 3-1 over Uzbekistan. First win ever at a World Cup, I should say. Algeria and Austria, game of the tournament, in my opinion, 3-3 draw. And then Argentina take care of business, 3-1 over Jordan. Right, we'll take a look now at how all these games impact the standings. Here are your standings after day 17 of the World Cup. We'll take a look at groups J, K, and L. We'll start with Group J. Argentina in first, perfect 3-0, 9 points, +7 goal differential. In second, we have Austria with 4 points, a 0 goal differential. In third, Algeria with 4 points, a -2 goal differential. In fourth, Jordan, no points, a -5 goal difference. In this group, it played out basically as expected. This is the order that I predicted. Argentina just too good. Austria, though, I expected them to get a little bit more points, maybe 6 points. They dropped a couple, but they did enough in the end to advance, so good on Austria. Jordan, it was going to be a tough task anyways, but nothing to hang your head on if you're Jordan. Just be happy that you made it to the World Cup. That's an accomplishment in on its own. Group K, so we'll have Colombia in first with 7 points, a +3 goal differential. In second, Portugal with 5 points, a +5 goal differential. In third, we have the Congo with 4 points, a +1 goal difference. And fourth, Uzbekistan, no points, a -9 goal difference. I think in my predictions, I had Portugal in first and in Colombia second. I just rated Portugal more because of that midfield, and then they have Ronaldo. Hasn't really played out as I thought. I kind of slept on the Congo a little bit. They've been a bit of a surprise. And then Uzbekistan, just not good enough. Just not good enough. Group L now. In first, we have England with 7 points, a +4 goal difference. Second, Croatia, 6 points, 0 goal difference. In third, Ghana, 4 points, a 0 goal difference. Fourth, Panama, no points, -4 goal difference. The standings in order as expected. I think I had England first. I do not think I picked Croatia first. I might have, though. I'm pretty sure I had England, Croatia, Ghana, and then Panama. So, as expected, I guess the surprise result was the draw, England and Ghana. But, we'll see how England does. That Croatia performance was incredible. Today's game against Panama, a little shaky to start, but they got things going in the second half. Croatia, on the other hand, definitely a team that to not sleep on. They could make a run, maybe to the quarters or semis. They've done it before. Made it to a final and against France in 2018. Remember that one against Russia. Ghana, I don't know. Maybe they could win one game in the round of 32, but I don't see them going any further than the round of 16. And then Panama is going home, unfortunately. Right, so we made it, everybody. This is your complete standings at the World Cup. It has been an absolute pleasure covering all of this, doing the standings, doing the quad box, and then the sect box, the 6 boxes. It's been an absolute pleasure. Now the pace of these games is going to slow down quite a bit. I'll show you the schedule, or tell you the schedule in a little bit. But first, let's take a look at the standings and just kind of see any trends or anything. I pointed out in our last video the lack of perfect teams in first. Mexico, perfect, 9 points. France, perfect, 9 points. Argentina, perfect, 9 points. So only 3 teams went 3-0 in this World Cup, which is kind of surprising. Normally, you'd have a little bit more. I could be wrong, but that is kind of surprising. In terms of like the third place teams, a lot of teams got 4 points, more than I thought. A lot of teams got 4 points, like Bosnia, so 1, Paraguay 2, Ecuador 3, Sweden 4, Algeria 5. I'm not going to count Austria because they're in that second spot. Congo 6, Ghana 7. So literally you had 7 teams. So there's 8 third place spots available. 7 of the 8 had 4 points. I thought 3 points was going to be enough for majority of teams. You just needed to have a pretty solid goal difference. But 3 points was not enough. You needed 4 to advance. So unfortunately for teams like South Korea, were just there, -1 goal difference. I believe Senegal took the last spot at +2 goal difference. Iran, you thought Iran had enough to advance. Unfortunately, no. Who else had 3? Scotland had 3. You thought that might be enough. -3 goal difference. It's tough. It's very tough. I was not expecting that many teams to have 4 points. It just shows, again, how much parity there was in this World Cup. It was great, though. Absolutely fantastic group stage. I know there were some controversies. particularly with Iran. I saw a video of their captain talking about the travel and the lack of rest that they had to do based off political nonsense. Very disappointing. But for the most part, it seemed everything went smoothly. I love the expanded format. Coming into this tournament, I wasn't sure if it was a good idea or not. I'm a traditionalist, I should say. I like the way things are. I'm not super big on changes when it comes to these big tournaments. So when they mentioned 48 teams, I was kind of like, I feel like the quality is going to go down, but I think the quality went up. I mean, we're seeing these smaller nations catch up to the bigger nations in football, but in a lot of sports as well, we're seeing that. And the football was fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed watching all the games. Hopefully you did at home. Please let me know your thoughts on the group stage. Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? Should they keep the expanded format with 48 teams? Should they go back to 32? I think they should keep it. We saw amazing stories with, where's Germany's group? With Curacao, when they made it 1-1 against Germany, that was a great moment. I mean, we saw, obviously, Cape Verde, if I can find them on the board. What they've done, unbelievable. The Congo got 4 points and advanced. Crazy. A lot of teams making their debuts and did a fantastic job in this tournament. Of course, you had some outliers like Qatar really didn't do much. Haiti didn't do much. Turkey was shockingly bad. Iraq didn't do much. Jordan, Uzbekistan, Panama, Saudi Arabia, I guess. But they got 2 points. But yeah, I'm totally in favor of it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So please let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And just thank you for all the love and support throughout this entire World Cup through the group stage. I really wasn't sure when I first made that video for day one if I was gonna do every single day and continue with it. But the love I've gotten in the comments and all of you guys, the support has kept me going, and I've just loved it. I'm filming these videos at 2 in the morning, so I'm half asleep when I do these. But I love it. I love talking about football. I love doing it for you guys. So thank you from the bottom of my heart for all the love and support. And we are, of course, going to continue through the knockout rounds. Perfect segue here. Let me just log into my computer. We only have one game tomorrow, unfortunately, which would make it easier on me, though. Make it a lot easier on me to do a recap and to draw everything. So that would be nice to have a little bit of a break. So tomorrow for day 18, one game on the docket. Knockout football, so someone has to win, someone has to lose. South Africa taking on Canada at 3 p.m. Eastern at the Los Angeles Stadium. Unfortunately for Canada, they finished second in their group, so they couldn't have at least they couldn't have this game and then the round of 16 game in Vancouver. They got to travel to LA for this one. Let me know who you think is going to win that. I fancy Canada. I think they'll get it done against South Africa. But at South Africa, that first game against Mexico was really, really rough. But since then, they've kind of built momentum. I feel like every game they've gotten better. And they ended up finishing second in this group. I thought they were going to be dead last. They looked absolutely horrific against Mexico. But I give them credit. They bounced back and have done well. Canada, a team that, we'll see if Alphonso Davies plays. I think that's a big question. If he does play, I think Canada has an edge. If he doesn't play, it might be more 50-50. But if Canada plays the way that they did at the end of that Switzerland game, where they were just so dominant and pressing, I think they can beat South Africa for sure. It just depends on how they approach it, I guess, and if Alphonso Davies plays. But either way, I would predict Canada to win that. game for sure. But let me know what you think as well. Perfect stuff. So tomorrow we'll just have the one game. It'll be a pretty blank board, which is one game. On this side of the bracket, this side of the board, I will erase all of these standings, and then I will write out the brackets, and we'll do like a bracketology thing, and I'll write who wins and all that, keep track of it and everything. So that'll be a fun project for me tomorrow to keep me busy on Sunday. But yes, that is day 17. If you are new to this channel, feel free to give us a follow here. Like the video if you want. You totally don't have to. But I love to hear your thoughts in the comment section, of course. Share this channel, this video out with as many people as possible. It's just a chill place to have a good time, to hang out, to talk sports. Everyone is welcome, of course. And I've just been absolutely loving this World Cup and covering it for you guys. So thank you again for all the love, and we'll wrap it up. I will see you for day 18 of the World Cup. Peace.